In this video, we'll be taking a look at the evolution of the Citadel from Half-Life 2. Seeing how you all liked the previous video on the Advisors map, I thought I'd do one more video relating to the Citadel. So without further ado, let's begin. If we talk about the oldest known versions, we have to mention the Citadels from the concept art. To say that these are dark and gritty pieces of art would be a huge understatement. The absolutely smoggy and desolate look of these art pieces show how depressing they wanted this game to be. In the first piece, you can see the Manhack arcade as well. This interior shot of the Citadel looks amazing and right out of some cosmic horror story. It looks like the Citadel is alive and the nerves are flowing across the walls. And on a side note, I see a lot of comments saying that the Citadel is alive or the Citadel was supposed to be alive. Where are you reading this? I have no idea where you got this from. So if you can leave a link down below in the comments for a viable source, I'll definitely take a look. But anyway, another piece I love is this train station one, which has the Citadel in the distance, shrouded by the unbreathable atmosphere of the city. Unfortunately, it's not known if there were any maps during development which featured any of these designs. All we have are the concept art pieces. Moving forward, we'll see how these designs evolved into what we have in the retail game. 2001 had the rusty version of the Citadel. Now, rusty is a subtle word because I've seen people use much worse words to describe this one. A monolithic spire was fully realized in 3D during this era. I wouldn't say this one looks bad, it's just that it was mid-development and this was more likely a placeholder and they were trying to figure out a final design. From a distance, it feels like a thorn rising out of the earth. I'd say this is one of the most evil-looking one out of the bunch, even if it looks like a piece of poo. During this era, a couple of maps were made to go along with this design. First is the Proto Core, a concept that would later be reused in Episode 1. Then, the Proto City 17 Inner. This has us in the inner side of the walls that surround the Citadel. The scale of the Citadel looks a bit off here though. Maybe it's a placeholder again? And finally, there's Proto City 17 Citadel Skybox. It has the player standing on the topmost floor of the Citadel. If this was an actual map or just an experiment, we'll never know. This is also the design that is seen on the posters and insignias from that era. Between 2001 and 2002, there was another redesign done for the Citadel. The Citadel was more cylindrical at this point, not brown but metallic, with different structures attached to the sides and an antenna-like structure on top. This one is my most favorite design out of the whole bunch, including the retail one. While the brown poopy one was evil looking, this one feels more ominous and monumental. It's featured in several maps in the league, specifically the City 17 maps. The interior of this one features my favorite design style with the tiles and the strange architecture. It also has this prison map, which too is absolutely unnerving to go through. The console map was also made during this era. The E3 2002 version feels much more alien and futuristic compared to the rest. It has a tubular shape and can be seen in a few maps. It's a lot shiny than before and it's kinda cool. A stark contrast between what came before and after. The 2002 and 2003 version of the Citadel is very much like the retail version unless you look closely. That straight looking lines of the shape looks sleek and stylish, but also very ominous as well. Also, there's a hole missing in the center, I guess. I think if the game wasn't leaked, this would have been the retail version of the Citadel. Also, this is the same version that you can see in the background of this art piece. During this era, there was another design that looked very different. Some people call this one the clamped Citadel. Rather than a tall building, it's much more wider and looks like a castle or a fort, at least to me. Kinda cool, but the lack of height removes the Citadel's menacing outlook. The map that uses this design, Proto Docks, is kind of cool looking though. And lastly, we have the retail version. There's not much to say about this because this is the most well-known one, a refined version of the earlier one we looked at. This one is a timeless design that added a lot to the personality of the game and played a big part in making the retail game as amazing as it was. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is how the Citadel evolved over time. What do you think? What's your favorite design out of the whole bunch? My favorite is the cylindrical one, but the retail one is amazing too. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.